Fox News was triggered into being a sputtering mess by Joe Biden's speech last night, saying, hey, we should try to maintain our democracy. And Republicans running now in 2022 are increasingly threatening to upend it if they lose. If I lose, it was rigged. If I won, then it's fair. Joe Biden, with a very good speech, which we already looked at. Take a look at some of the reactions from Republicans. I don't know whether to call these sad, whether to call these dangerous, whether to call them delusional. Maybe it's a combination. Let's look at them. Here's Kevin McCarthy, the House Minority Leader, reacting to Joe Biden's speech about democracy being in danger. That was the announced subject matter. We knew the speech was going to be about democracy. And Kevin McCarthy says, well, it was a bad speech because he didn't mention inflation or gas prices.
I listened to the president's speech. I don't remember hearing anything about inflation, about gas, about border, about fentanyl, about crime, or not even the 98 individuals on the border who are on the terrorist watch list they have caught. What we're really finding in these next 6 days, this is a hinge election. This is defining election like a 1980 election. Which direction does America want to go? That's true. Why we have the commitment to America. We literally spell out what we'll do.
He's holding up a piece of paper when he says that.
Because energy independent, give us an economy that's strong, secure the border, fund the police, stop the prosecutors who are woke, give you a parent's bill of rights.
Understand that all of those things, I mean, the economy, at least for now, is fine. We have almost full employment. GDP growth is back. Nothing has materially changed on the border since Trump. All these things are completely made up. But the critique is he didn't talk about inflation and gas prices. The speech was about democracy because Kevin McCarthy and the cronies in his party and their constituents seem not to care about democracy anymore. That's why the subject matter was what it was. In reaction to Joe Biden's speech, Jesse Watters, another beauty on Fox News, says this is all nonsense because we're just going to win. There's not going to be anything to deny.
That was the president of the United States confessing that he's about to get wiped out a week from now. No one is going to question the results of this election, Mr. President, because it's going to be a blowout.
Now, understand, Jesse thinks he's being clever. He thinks he's being clever by saying, you're not going to have any questioning because we're going to win. There's not going to be anything to question. But he's actually proving exactly the point that Joe Biden made, which is they don't question it when they win and they question it when they lose. A priori saying losses are fraud. We'll talk later about what a priori means. He seems to actually be proving Joe Biden's point. Now, is it true that Democrats are going to get wiped out? Maybe. We talked about new polling. At the same time, there are growing concerns that the new polling is very bad polling. We're going to find out in, 5 days. We'll know before you know it. Just make sure you take your vote and use it. One other clip. Here's Republican Senator Lindsey Graham also talking about Joe Biden's speech and saying he didn't even mention the border. Well, no, it wasn't about the border.
Stacey Abrams herself, but that's not happening either. What was your reaction to Biden's angry speech?
By the way, it's logical to be angry when one side doesn't care about democracy.
If I'm a liberal Democrat, I would say, Joe, please stop helping. I thought it was pathetic. I thought it was divisive. Not one word about how I'm going to secure a broken border, how I'm going to lower gas prices as president, how I'm going to challenge rampant crime, how I'm going to make...
What's funny is he already lowered gas prices as president.
This energy independent. It was...
If you believe the president has anything to do with it, by the way, which I don't. But again, this is their story.
It's about half the country basically being political terrorists.
Yeah, it's not half the country that are political terrorists, but it's a non-zero portion of the Republican Party. And we're seeing it day to day. These folks are pathetic. These folks are pathetic. And they are openly subscribing to, if we win, it was fair. And if we lose, it was rigged. Let me know your thoughts in a comment or find me on Twitter at dpacman. Remember, we are pushing to 2 million YouTube subscribers. Many of you out there, maybe I'm talking about you. You watch our clips on YouTube, but you're not subscribed. Do us the favor of subscribing, even if you're seeing our videos in your feed. because it is the most important signal to YouTube's algorithm. Hey, maybe I should recommend this guy's content. When you're looking for a good documentary to watch, you scroll through Netflix and Hulu for a while. There aren't that many. You realize you've seen the good ones. What if I told you there's a streaming platform exclusively for documentaries with the best selection where you won't run out of top quality documentaries? That is Curiosity Stream, with a massive catalog of the newest and best documentaries, classic titles from years ago, exclusive content you can't find anywhere else. I just watched Pompeii: Disaster Street. I visited Pompeii in Italy before. I wish I had seen the documentary before visiting, because it was made very clear I missed a lot when I actually went to Pompeii. You can watch Curiosity Stream on all of your devices. They're always adding new titles: politics, philosophy, true crime, nature. They have everything. And my audience gets Curiosity Stream for under $2 a month when you go to curiositystream.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman. The link is down below.